Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing? It's me, Mr. 4K Upscaler. Um, on this video, I'm going to talk about Redream Emulator. Now, I don't know how many of you are familiar with the Redream and how many of you know about the Redream. So what I'm going to do in this video, I'm going to try to explain to you what the Redream is and where you can download it and how it works. First and foremost, I want you to understand that this is coming from a person who tried all of the emulators. I have tried everything from Dolphin, Demule, uh, PSCX1, PSCX2. I have tried all these different types of emulators out there, and they are all kind of a mixed bag. They all are hit or miss. Some games work, some they don't, and some they don't work at all. So it's a total mixed bag. And one of the worst ones, it's the PlayStation 2 emulator, PSCX2, which is total garbage. Nothing works on that thing, man. It's just horrible, horrible uh, emulator. So stay away from PSCX2. It's just one big headache. And they haven't fixed it yet. They claim they fixed it, they updated it, they haven't done nothing. So having said that, I want you to understand that this is coming from somebody who has tried all of the emulators, and I have high-end PCs. I've tweaked everything. I went through all the jumps and hoops. So if you're going to type down on the comment section telling me you should do this, you should do that, cousin, I have tried it all, okay? And this is the reason I'm doing this video, to tell you what is the best emulator. If you love Dreamcast, if you are a fan of Sega Dreamcast and you missed Sega Dreamcast, but you don't want to spend money buying a console that's $120, $150, then collecting all the games, all of that stuff on eBay can take a huge toll on your wallet. Okay, you're going to be spending a lot of cash buying that console, the memory card, the adapters for the HDMI, all of that stuff is going to cost you money. So you're going to end up spending all that cash. All right. There's an alternative here called Redream. On Redream, they have tested 80% out of 247 games that were available in first 550 days of the Dreamcast console. And 80% of these games, when you go to their website, they have listed all the games that are working perfectly. All right. And they do. One unique feature about the Redream, when you start their user interface works almost like a Xbox interface. I'm sorry, I just hit my camera. Sorry about that. It happened. But it shouldn't have happened, but it did happen. You can use any controller. I'm using the Xbox Elite controller right now for this demo. And I have some games here. The reason you see duplicates is because there's a disc 1, disc 2. It's split into two different discs, or if you like to call them GDI imagery, all right? So, but one of the cool feature about Redream is the fact that not only that you don't have to worry about the BIOS system or the BIOS files, all of the BIOS files are already integrated into the system. And if there's an update, they will let you know if you need to update the user interface software. But all of the BIOS are already integrated into this program. So therefore, you don't have to worry about tweaking anything or downloading any extra files. Everything is already set and ready to go for you. And that's one convenient, unique feature. Now, another thing I want to talk about is the video. What's so cool about Sega Dreamcast Redream is the fact that you also have the option of stretching this resolution between 1920 by 1440, 2560 by 1920, 3200 by 2400, 3840 by 2880, even 4480 by 3360, or 5120 by 3840. So you really can get this internal resolution to the highest possible rendering meaning you get the best possible sharper imagery that's can be reproduced onto this Dreamcast console game. And obviously, you will need a powerful PC to do this, okay? I would suggest just leaving it on 1920 by 1440. I think 1920 by 1440, it's the just a little bit above HD resolution. And this internal 1920 by 1440 resolution will give you a really nice, crisp, sharp, detailed imagery. Now, in order for you to take the advantage of this, you will have to pay a $5 lifetime license, meaning all you have to do is just pay a $5 and you are good to go, just with that one-time fee. And you can enjoy all of your majority of your Dreamcast games. You can enjoy it and play it right here. Currently, I'm using my 28-inch, actually 32-inch BenQ VA vertical alignment panel. So we're gonna go ahead and fire up Resident Evil Code Veronica. Let's go hit Resident Evil Code Veronica right here. Please keep in mind what you're seeing on the camera, it's totally different than what I'm seeing in person. You'll just have to take my word for it that the imagery is much sharper and it looks much better. Okay. Maybe I can move my camera a little bit like this, a little bit further, like that. There we go. I think that's better. So I'm going to press start right here. I'm going to start the new game. It loads up fairly quickly. Let me adjust my low light. There we go. That's better. So you guys can see it. Like I said, the first thing that you will notice, everything's sharper. You get now the textures are not going to look that great because remember this is an old game and it's using a low-end Dreamcast GPU back then. You know, considering it now, it's a very low end compared to now. But everything will be sharp, as you will see here. Now, when I use the lighter, you see just how sharper the image is, the imagery. Everything looks much sharper and more detailed. And you see that detail that you honestly couldn't possibly see with the original Dreamcast. What I'm trying to say, with the original Dreamcast, you would have to buy a component cable, and then you have to spend money on that component cable. And from that component cable, you will need some type of an adapter that goes into your component to your HDMI out, and then somehow maybe you'll get that nice upscale. But remember, this is a internal resolution, okay? What you're going to be getting with your Sega Dreamcast console, you're going to be getting 480p upscaled to 4K. So the source resolution, it's not going to look that good, and the upscale is not going to look that good either. What you're getting here is a internal native source resolution of 1920 by 1440 being upscaled to 4K. Remember how I always talked about if you want to have the best possible upscale, you're going to need a best possible source resolution. And when you have a source resolution of 1920 by 1440 being upscaled to 4K, all it's going to do is going to make it look much sharper, meaning that the upscale of this game, Resident Evil Code Veronica, will look just much better. There's a knife over here. We'll pick that up. Yes. And I know my camera here is not doing it justice. You really have to see this in person just to appreciate just how great this looks on monitor in person. You know, And I don't remember playing this game like this with such a nice level of detail. I mean, everything looks much sharper, you know. And like I said, if you love Dreamcast games, this is no brainer. I mean, this will give you the best possible experience for your Dreamcast games. All right, let's go switch to another game called Shenmue. We'll do that really quick. Let's go to the Shenmue. We'll hit Shenmue really quick right here. There it is. And there's another cool thing is these games really load up fast, really load up quick. You don't have to go look for a disc to plug it in and wait for the memory card. There's a convenience about using this emulator. Like I said, you can use it with your Ultrabook or your laptop. Take it with you. You can take it with you, play it anywhere. You don't have to be connected to the internet to play this. This is not a great thing with the software. You don't have to be connected to the internet. You just need to have the software downloaded onto your PC. And look how fast that load up, man. That's just amazing. And look at this resolution, this sharp, detailed resolution. Let me adjust my low light a little bit. That looks amazing. Look at that sharp detail that you see on this monitor. I don't know if you guys can see it here through this camera, but you'll just have to trust me when I tell you there's a huge amount of sharp detail here. And a very important thing to remember guys, the emulators have their advantage due to the fact that you don't have to spend money collecting all of these games. You don't have to, go through all the hoops to get this type of resolution. All right. And I think with this emulator, you're going to get that best possible Dreamcast experience, in my opinion. And this is why I support these guys, Redream, because they really put a lot of effort and passion into the Dreamcast games for those of us who love Dreamcast. And this is why I say this is one of the best emulators out there on the market. I think other developers need to look at Redream and what they have done and follow into their footsteps. I think PlayStation 2 needs something like Redream. They need something like these guys that are passionate about the PlayStation 2 and really get it right. Get that emotion chip mimicking the Windows 10 and Windows GPU and Intel Core CPUs, because currently right now the PSCX2 is just god awful. I was able to run some games on it, like The Thing and a couple of others, but majority of the games are just nothing but disaster. I mean, the resolution is just horrible. Even on a native resolution of 640 by 480i, it's still just it's just bad. It can barely run, and there's so much slowdown and bugs, and it's just it's a horrible experience. And I'm sorry, and I'm telling you this because I don't want you guys to go through that headache, to the same headache that I went through with the PSCX2. PSCX2 is just pure garbage. They've been in development with the PSCX2 for years now, for almost 5 years, and they haven't done jack shit. They haven't updated anything. They haven't done nothing. Okay, look at Redream, what they have done just in the past 8 months. And look what they have done, and they're continuing to do so. And this is why I'm making this video, because I want to give them my 100% full support, because I believe this is how the emulators should be done. This is how you should have your emulators done. This is the way to go. This is the way that you should implement the emulators on the PC. And it's very easy to use. It detects the controller right away. You don't have to worry about it, do any configuration. It automatically detects everything. It's really done well. So, and it's not just me bragging about the Redream. A lot of other people are bragging about it, and I'm glad, because I want to give these guys a full support. Because the more support they get, then we're gonna get pretty much the entire library of these games running in its best possible form, and we're gonna get the best possible Dreamcast experience that we can get from this emulator. Not only are they working on the graphics, but they're also working on the resolution. The one thing that they're working on as well is the disc swipe. Some games have they're split into 2, 3, or 4 different discs, and you have to swipe the discs as you go throughout the game. So they're kind of working on that as well. As soon as they get that fixed, then you'll be able to play certain games like Grandia 2 and the D2 horror adventure game as well. Because that way you can swipe the disc, because these games require you to swipe the disc when you finish certain levels and go to the disc 2, to the disc 3, disc 4, and disc 1, and so on and so forth. So, as you can see, no issues, no problems, running smooth, amazing detail, man. It's just like I said, my camera here, it's not doing it justice as to how sharp this is. This is like really sharp. And this type of level of detail and sharpness, for a game like this that's old, I don't think you're gonna get a better experience than what you're gonna be getting here, in my honest opinion. Maybe we can try one more game really quick. Let me go and try Dino Crisis really quick. We'll hit on that. I'll leave the link down below for you guys to download Redream and check out the Redream. I'll give you guys the link down below and everything, so you guys can check it out. Remember, you're saving money here. Yes, you can go ahead and purchase the original Dreamcast. Yes, you can go ahead and get the adapters and all that, but you're not going to get this type of resolution. Okay? And remember, this is convenient. Alright, it's the beginning of the game. I'm going to skip through this. I'm going to go straight to the gameplay so you guys can see it in action. And the first thing I notice is obviously it's much sharper. Now, the graphics are what they are. It's using original Dreamcast graphical engine, but everything else, it's running in a much sharper detail. What I'm trying to say is, on your original Dreamcast, you're not going to get this type of sharper detail than what you are getting here on this emulator. And I think that's very unique and very cool. And the fact that you can take it with you, put it on the laptop, bring it with you, and play these games everywhere you go. You don't have to be connected to the internet. You could be offline. You can play these games. You don't have to worry about a memory card. It's supported with every joystick out there, every controller. So that, to me, it's a one unique feature. Now, these graphics are laughable by today's standards, but you also have to remember this is a very old game. We're talking 1999, 20 years ago. like I said, it runs really good, and it's just sharper. There's something to this having a sharper image. It just makes everything look better. It makes the whole experience better when it's a sharper detail, and I think that's what's so unique. I purposely turned down the sound so I can commentate here. As you can see, no issues, no problems, no glitches, no slowdowns. Everything's running smooth. Very sharp detail. Very good. And like I said, this is the best that you're gonna get from Dreamcast. So there you have it, guys. I don't know if there's anything else I can say. Like I said, go ahead, check them out. You should definitely support these guys. I can tell you that they definitely care. They definitely put a lot of effort and time into making sure that you get the best possible Dreamcast experience. I think this is the best. This is the best deal you're gonna get for Dreamcast. If you love Dreamcast and you want to save money, this is it. This is the best way to go. You're not gonna go wrong. This is the best emulator, period. I already said that. And I'll continue to support these developers of this team. They are definitely giving you the best possible Dreamcast experience here. If you love Dreamcast, look no further. This is it. All right, guys. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you later with my live stream later on. We'll do a live stream. We'll do Resident Evil Code Veronica running in 1080p. All right, guys. Have a good one, though. Take care.